what are the core beliefs that got you to this point?
That's a good question. I would say like first is this self-confidence and this feeling that, like I said, like I told you, like I was destined for more. I've always felt that I could achieve those heights. That was realistic for me. And it wasn't a question of if, but when. I'd credit most of my success to that. Like the vast majority of my success to that. Because if you don't think it, if you don't believe it, how are you ever going to get there? Like any sort of action starts with an idea. And so if you don't even have that idea planted into your mind, you're fucked from the get-go. And that's like why people talk about like manifesting. Like, oh, I can write it down in my journal 100 times. Like, do I believe in like some like the spiritual nonsense that I hear? No. But do I believe that if you define your goal and you embody your goal and you think about your goal and you obsess over your goal, that over time, you're going to reach your goal? Of course. You have a purpose. You've defined it, you've said it, you're speaking into reality, and then you got to execute on it. It doesn't just happen by accident. It doesn't happen out of magic. But most people don't even know what they want. Most people haven't even defined like where they want to be. Most people haven't even thought about that. And so like, are you confused that one person who wakes up and all he thinks about is getting to that spot, got there, versus one person whose head is in the clouds, doesn't? It makes sense.
When did you first know what you wanted?
I guess when I went to Jack's house.
Makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
And when was that? When you were 14, 15, 13? Like,
I was like 10.
when you were 10, you were just envisioning.
Dude, I was in second grade. And
Wow.
I was in second grade and we were in the same class and he randomly like invited me to like his Hamptons house or like, you know, to like his club in the Hamptons. And I was 10 years old at the time. And we just like hit it off. We became boys. It wasn't even the money. Like, sure, like, yeah, the money and the lifestyle was cool, but like we became brothers and we're still brothers to this day. But being exposed to like that lifestyle and exposed to like, I guess the 0.0000001% and understanding and growing up in that environment, but not quite being a part of that, I think had a massive impact on me. Massive impact.
Iman Gadzhi talks about this as well,
Right.
where he went to private school,
Right.
but was poor, and he saw and was so close to the top of the top.
Sure.
And that understanding gave him the push and the desire to really be all he could be monetarily, which is interesting.
It's very interesting. I think that like a lot of people, they'd be surprised that how actually attainable it truly is. I think that so many people just like dismiss the thought of like being, you know, at an Iman Gadzhi level or like being a multimillionaire or being, you know, a billionaire or whatever it is. Like so many people like think that it's like some fever dream or that it's impossible. And I'm under the belief that anybody can do it if they want it bad enough. And I'm probably gonna get clowned for this, and people will say, it's so cheesy, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, like that's been said 100 times, whatever. Like, that's fine. I believe that to my core. That like anybody can wake up. Actually, I don't know if they can wake up. I think like some people like are kind of like maybe have like some sort of like predispositions in genetics or have some sort of like environmental factor, the way that I did or the way that Iman Gadzhi did that like programmed our brain in a certain way. But I do truly believe that if you want it bad enough, you will get there. You got to take it. Nobody's going to give it to you. You're a testament to that too, man. I mean, what podcast number are you on?
This is episode 359.
Let me rephrase that. What's the statistic? What, like 95% of podcasts fail after 7 episodes? I mean, you know the stat. I pulled those numbers out of my ass.
90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 7. And of those, 90% don't make it past episode 20. So it's like, and this is the thing that people have to understand is like, the reps are universally admired. If somebody does 400 podcast episodes, you are inherently, anybody is going to say, That's pretty interesting. Why are they doing that? If you start 50 different businesses, or you do 50 different iterations of your business and try to make it better and better, everyone's going to look at that and be like, what is this? Like, there's something here. They care about it enough to do these iterations.
Absolutely.
So this is something Alex Hormozi really, really highlighted for me, that reps and effort is the universal currency of respect.
Right, so for sure the universal currency of respect. But time in the game becomes the most competitive advantage of all. I think that what leads to success is not like IQ or intelligence. It's experience and intuition. Experience is seeing all the different situations and seeing how things play out and falling into every single pitfall and failing and touching the stove and getting burnt 800 times. But at some point, if you're growing from each one and each rep, you're getting a little bit better, by 0.1%, and that's compounding over and over and over again. Eventually, it's inevitable that you make it. And all of those experiences build your intuition so that when you're faced with another problem, you have some sort of subconscious feeling and action of knowing how to perfectly navigate it because of the 800 others. Pattern recognition, right? You've seen 800 situations like it. You've seen the ones that have been successful. You've seen the ones that have been unsuccessful. You have pattern recognition. Think about it like a machine learning almost, right? Like human machine learning, where exactly what moves you need to make in order to get to the other side of the road successfully. And most people don't even know how to get to the other side of the road. They get hit by a car, they get hit by a truck, they fall in, they step on the landmine, they fall in the pothole, they twist their ankle. You know what I'm saying? But over time, if you're able to basically just survive and figure it out, and you make it to the end, I mean, by that point, you've hit it. A, you've hit it once, and B, you can probably hit it again. See, with tabs, it was a huge learning curve. There were so many things that I fucked up on. What people don't know is that I've been in the game for 7 years before tabs. And there were so many more failures before tabs, right?
Tell them about the social media agency you did with the barbers.
Yeah, man. That was my first client. I started a little social media agency when I was 15. And I was running Instagram accounts and profiles and growing Instagram pages for local mom and pop shops. Nobody would give me the time of day. The only people that gave me a shot was my barber in exchange for a free haircut. But yeah, man, that's when I was 15, and I got hundreds, not hundreds. That's an exaggeration. I've got scores of mini businesses and projects. Most of them were catastrophic failures. But through each one, I gained a little bit more wisdom. I gained a little bit of experience in some space. And, with tabs, everything kind of came together perfectly. And that was finally my home run. And still, even with tabs, there were so many things that I fucked up on. And I can go on for about hours about all the mistakes that I've made. And I'm still making mistakes to this day. But now, if I want to build a new company, and that's exactly what's happening, right? I just started a new little SaaS tool. In my first 2 weeks, I took it from 0 to 2,000 subscribers, from 0 to $25,000 in MRR in 2 weeks, profitably. For most, that's unfathomable. For me, I have the exact game plan. I have a blueprint of knowing exactly what I need to do, what checkboxes I need to tick, what email flows I need to build, what kind of ads I need to run, what creatives I need to run. And I have already the entire team. I have the Rolodex of connections and people that I need to speak to, the conversations that need to take place. And it's the back of my hand. I know exactly what I need to do in order to make something happen. But for me, I know what I need to do to take it from 0 to 1. Some people know how to take it from 0 to 1 billion, right? So I'm still playing in my own game too. And there's always another level, man. Always another level.
Yeah. I was interested hearing you talk about it on a previous podcast about, you used the practical example of the Facebook ads rep being at one point, if Facebook went down, I would have no idea what to do. Now, after a certain point, Facebook goes down, and now I have an ads rep that I can call. because that's a new level that gets unlocked in the game because you spent more time in it.
Yeah, dude. I would argue that it gets easier. Dude, like,
Definitely.